First, I'd like you to take a look at a very, very, very short video clip. You ready? Check this out.
There are legitimate values in outsourcing, not only jobs, but work.
That was Tom Donahue. Tom Donahue is the president and CEO of the United States Chamber of Commerce.
There are legitimate values in outsourcing, not only jobs, but work.
There are legitimate values in outsourcing, not only jobs, but work. The president of the Chamber of Commerce, in his capacity as the president of the Chamber of Commerce, endorsing outsourcing, endorsing the practice of American companies shipping jobs overseas so those jobs can be done by people in foreign countries instead of by Americans. Quote, U.S. Chamber of Commerce President and CEO Thomas Donahue urged American companies on Wednesday to send job overseas. Donahue said people affected by offshoring should, quote, stop whining. The benefits of offshoring jobs outweighs the cost. During a trip to India around the same time, Tom Donahue assures business leaders, quote, we are very confident that outsourcing is here to stay. It would be absolutely foolish to try and stop the phenomenon. Woo! Outsourcing? Awesome. All of you Americans who have lost your jobs because your job was outsourced to India or China, the Chamber of Commerce has a message for you, and it is, I quote, stop whining. The same Tom Donahue, whose Chamber of Commerce has championed outsourcing, is now running TV ads like this all across the country.
Rising unemployment means families are suffering. Tell Richard Blumenthal to stop. His job-killing lawsuits are hurting Connecticut families. The U.S. Chamber is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Richard Blumenthal's a job killer. So says the United States Chamber of Commerce. Here's what's awkward about that sort of an attack ad being launched by the Chamber of Commerce of all people. Over the last 16 years, more than 87,000 Connecticut workers saw their jobs shipped overseas. Over the last 16 years, more than 87,000 people in Connecticut lost their jobs because a Connecticut company gave their job to someone in another country. And that is something that the Chamber of Commerce promotes. That's according to a new report out by the nonpartisan group Campaign Money Watch. 87,000 jobs lost in Connecticut alone due to outsourcing. But the pro-outsourcing guys want you to think that it's Richard Blumenthal. He's the job killer. Yeah, the Chamber of Commerce also running this ad in the great state of Missouri.
In the past 2 years, Missouri's lost thousands of good-paying jobs. So why does Robin Carnahan support Card Check, an unfair scheme to grow unions?
Did you see that figure that they flashed on the screen there at the beginning? Missouri lost 120,000 jobs. Take a guess at where some of those jobs went. Ding, 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 ding. That's right. More than 102,000 people who live in Missouri lost their jobs because Missouri companies decided they would rather fire Americans and instead have people in other countries do that work. Chamber of Commerce is all for it. Remember, according to them, outsourcing is good.
There are legitimate values in outsourcing, not only jobs, but work.
The Chamber of Commerce is flooding the airwaves right now with a $75 million ad blitz, almost entirely focused on blaming Democrats for killing jobs, even as they openly support American companies firing Americans to have the work done by people in other countries instead. It is because of the Chamber's out loud, well-documented support of outsourcing American jobs to other countries that turned the Think Progress report last week on the Chamber into a political bombshell. Think Progress reported last week that the Chamber's $75 million ad blitz was potentially being paid for, in part, by other countries. By companies in other countries, please send us your American jobs. And even by state-owned companies in other countries, which means those ads may be funded by foreign governments. Please hire our citizens. And America, fire your own citizens. We like it when America is weak because of high unemployment. After that report came out, the Chamber of Commerce immediately denied it. They claimed that not 1 cent of foreign money was being used to fund their campaign ads. They did not produce any evidence to back up that claim. They just said, "Arr, that makes us so mad. We don't do it. Trust us." Do you trust them? No, neither does anybody else outside of Fox News, apparently. Further dogged reporting from Think Progress has now revealed that even though the Chamber of Commerce says foreign money doesn't pay for their campaign ads, the same Chamber of Commerce bank account that pays for all of those ads has taken in at least $885,000 from more than 80 foreign companies. Foreign companies like this one in Mumbai, India, which calls itself the world leader in IT outsourcing. Also, this one in Singapore, which says it is a leader in engineering services outsourcing. They also get money from this one in Bangalore, India. It's described as India's biggest destination for U.S. offshoring. They all pay money into the Chamber of Commerce account from which the Chamber pays for its political ads. And what do those political ads say? Democrats are killing jobs. No. These are companies in countries that benefit directly from American companies firing Americans and instead hiring people in foreign countries to do the work.
There are legitimate values in outsourcing, not only jobs, but work.
That's the Chamber of Commerce, an organization that takes foreign donations, that advocates for outsourcing, and that is now among the biggest players in this year's elections. They're running tens of millions of dollars of almost entirely anti-Democrat ads. Now, Democrats in the White House have attempted to make this a big campaign issue in recent weeks. They've highlighted the fact that groups like the Chamber of Commerce are blanketing the airwaves with ads without disclosing where they're getting their money from.
They don't disclose who's behind the ads. Could be an oil company, could be an insurance company, could be Wall Street. You don't know. Are you going to let special interests from Wall Street and Washington and maybe places beyond our shores come to this state and tell us who our senators should be? That's not just a threat to Democrats, that's a threat to our democracy.
They don't disclose who's behind their ads. Their money could be coming from beyond our shores. President Obama making this a campaign issue. And that, of course, has probably predictably caused this reaction on the right.
I would like to make this the biggest fundraising day in the Chamber's history. I am donating $10,000 to the Chamber of Commerce now.
Because they could sure use the help. That's amazing. Amazing. That was Fox News host Glenn Beck today, encouraging his listeners to fork over their own hard-earned cash to give it to the Chamber of Commerce to promote the outsourcing of American jobs, asking regular Americans who presumably get paychecks and stuff to help out the poor corporate titans. Because, you know, why not? Obama, boo! Earlier this week, we spoke with Democratic pollster Celinda Lake. This was her assessment of this as a campaign issue with 3 weeks to go until this year's elections.
This is an issue that is a good October surprise for the Democrats and the progressives. It's a way of really raising a fundamental question about whose side you're on. This is a great issue to unite blue-collar voters of all kinds, Democratic-leaning union workers and Tea Party people, all of them against foreign corporate influence. All of them say that our economic system is being undermined by these policies, and these corporations are trying to pay for a Congress that will keep these policies going.
As if on cue, a new poll just comes out from Bloomberg News revealing the extent to which Democrats really have been handed a political gift here. When voters are asked how their view of a candidate would be affected if they learned that that candidate's campaign was being aided by advertising paid for by anonymous business groups, the percentage of people who said they'd be more likely to vote for that candidate is a whopping 9%. The percentage who say anonymous funding would make them less likely to vote for a candidate? 47%. But wait, there's more. Another polling firm, Survey USA, has just released the results of their poll on the same topic, and the numbers are staggering. The percentage of those polled who say they have a right to know who's paying for these ads? 84%. Try getting 84% of Americans to agree on anything. We don't even agree that cheese tastes good. We don't even agree that the earth is round. 84% say we have a right to know who is funding these ads. When asked whether these groups have their best interests in mind, 63% of those polled said no. The percentage who said they would be less likely to vote for a candidate who benefits from anonymously funded ads is a solid majority at 56%. And are you paying attention, Democrats? If a candidate insists that voters have a right to know who's paying for these ads, the percentage of people who say that would make them more likely to support that candidate, 47%. Attention, Democrats. This is a long, slow curveball right over the heart of the plate.